let us embark on the road to Hermitcraft.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Minecraft. I'm Battery, and today, as the title of this video would suggest, I'm finally getting to the thing that I made all those preparations for in the last video. That being said, I do have a lot more preparation that needs to be done, and I can kind of give you a bit of an idea of that if I come over here. So, the place that I'm going to be setting up in this episode is going to be down here. I've cleared out a little bit of space, but I do think I'm going to make it bigger in pretty much every direction. But my idea for this space would be I would house my permanent nether portal and my enchantment table in here, as well as maybe put in some extra storage down here, because currently I just have the one double chest up there and the chest with the valuables in it. This chest just has some of the blocks that I've prepared, but we're definitely going to need a lot more than this, especially if I make this area bigger. I'm gonna try and do like a red to blue gradient, where the blue side, because I think the juxtaposition of the very like red nature of the nether opposes the blue like lapis of the like enchantment table very nicely. So I think having them kind of across from each other would look pretty cool. But I got a lot more preparation I've got to do, because I need to finish clearing out this area because it's not quite big enough. Yeah, and I also have to continue getting more concrete because this definitely isn't going to be enough for what I'm trying to do. So, to spare you from the boredom of going and collecting a bunch of sand and gravel, I'm just going to cut ahead to where I have gathered what I believe to be enough resources. I don't know exactly how many I'm going to need, but yeah, gonna go collect all those, and then I'll be back once I have all of them. Oh, I guess I can also fill you in, because you might be wondering, like, well, none of that so far has required nether quartz or slime balls, so what was the deal with needing to get all of that? And my idea for that is that I have it, like, hidden below the house. What I was thinking is I do, like, a path block detection system. So I would have a little redstone thing that is set up to where when I turn this block into a path block, it will detect that and open up a little, like, drop down for me to get down. And then I would have a slime block launcher to get me back out. And in order to do both of those things, I need, well, for the path block thing, I need an observer, which requires nether quartz, and I need slime balls for the slime block launcher and the sticky pistons that will be required for both of those things. So, if you were confused as to why I needed slime balls and nether quartz, That's why. Anyways, I'm going to go get all the boring stuff done, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've got a decent number of blocks at this point, but I think so. We'll see how far this gets us. But I think the first thing I'm gonna do is build the entry and exit system, because having to do this every time I want to get out is starting to become annoying. So, yeah, I'm gonna work on getting this set up. Okay, so I've temporarily gone into a redstone testing world to figure out how to build this thing. Because redstone is finicky, and it's a lot easier to know everything that you're gonna need if you can visualize the circuit in a more isolated environment. So this is the hidden entrance system. Imagine that this slime block is a normal block, but basically what it's doing is if I stand here and make this a path, that observer will observe it and pull the block out from underneath me, and drop me down into the lower area. And then if I push this button, it'll launch me back up and close behind me, which I'm surprised at how quickly I got it to work, but honestly, it's not that bad. It's a few more pistons than I would probably like, but it's a good thing we made all the slime balls and stuff like that, because we need to use 3 just for the opening and closing mechanism itself. Then we need 1 for the slime block down here, and then 1 for the activation of this circuit up from this button. So I've made a rudimentary does it count as a, I think it's called a T flip-flop. I'm pretty sure it's a flip-flop and not a NOR latch. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, I've basically made it so that each activation can only activate one side of the system. So I think that's a NOR latch, because if I try and activate this again and again and again, it won't accidentally pull this redstone block out of place. And same thing for activating this stuff. If I push the button again, it's not going to accidentally pull that redstone block out of the way. So each side of the system controls this top circuit, which is just this observer, controls it opening, and then this back circuit, which is just a redstone line run from this button, hooked up to a pulse extender, controls the closing. And the reason I needed to do the pulse extender and all that is because If I didn't do that, the block getting put back in place by the closing animation, like, you can see that the observer went off there, so I have to have this piston basically hold the block in place to prevent it from getting immediately pushed back over here and just opening again. So the pulse extender is necessary for that. But yeah, I'm really happy with how relatively small this is. It does get a little bit bigger just because there's this redstone line at the back. But honestly, this is like super tiny. And won't take me long to set up in the actual build. I'm just gonna jot down real quick how many resources total that I need for this, and then I will hop back over and build it in the, or I guess build it for realsies. Alright, I got it all built and ready to go. Doesn't look like there's anywhere to go in this room. But if I take a shovel and go over here, then we drop down into our secret area. Meow. I do have to patch up a couple holes on the outside, because it wouldn't be very secret if you could see the mechanism from outside. But it all works perfectly. I can push this button to fly back up, and the block will go back up underneath me, and yeah, it all works amazingly. But yeah, I gotta go back here and patch a couple holes. It's real close to the surface. I tried making it a little more compact in the testing world by having this like latch mechanism going vertically instead of horizontally, but I forgot that when you use redstone blocks and pistons in a vertical orientation, for some reason it creates a bud behavior, and the bottom piston will always be powered on, and you can't turn it off ever, which is such a weird thing with redstone. Yeah, it's just so weird. So, but I've got it all set up, and I wanted to build this first because I didn't know exactly how much space it was going to take up, and obviously I want to like hide all of this away from the rest of the build. So I'm going to kind of shuffle the room over so that I'm not competing with any of the redstone that's up here. And I'm also going to shift it down a couple blocks and basically have a staircase that comes up to the slime block launcher. Regardless, this is the highest I can go, and it would be a pretty short room, especially if I'm putting another portal in here. So I'm just gonna create a little alcove that this slime block launcher sits in, and kind of shift the room down a little bit. So this is kind of the idea I had for this room down here, where it's just like a gradient that goes from red over to blue. You know, the in-between of those two colors is purple. So the center of the room starts out purple, and then we slowly fade into blue and purple on either side. And on this right side will be my enchantment table, and on the left side will be my nether portal. I had to go with this blue terracotta because there's not really a good like in between of purple and blue. There's a ton of like light blue blocks, but lapis is a dark blue block. I didn't want to go all the way to light blue. So this was the best kind of in between kind of, I guess, indigo color that I could find. But, you know, I think it all looks good. Even if these are not quite the color I wanted. But those few spots in the wall I ran out of the purple concrete powder for. So I'll fill that in and then get the two things set up here and then build the wall that is on this side. Well, I definitely need more concrete powder and purple concrete, but luckily I thought ahead and got a bunch of extra gravel and sand. I think the hard part actually is going to be getting all the bookcases for the big bookshelf that I want to put in here, or the enchantment table that I want to put in here, because I want to make it bigger than it normally would be. And also, actually, I don't think, are chiseled bookshelves in 1.19, or was that a 1.20 thing? I think it was a 1.20 thing, which is kind of sad. But yeah, so I'm gonna get working on the two sides and then finishing this wall over here. The ceiling can't have quite as much of a gradient because, you know, the powder blocks would fall if I tried to put them in the ceiling. So it's gotta be all like full concrete blocks or the terracotta. But yeah, still looks good. I thought about maybe putting glass and then putting like the powder blocks on top of it, but I think this suffices, and honestly, putting in the other blocks probably would have drove me insane. Ah, shit. No, 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 no. Oh, that went all the way the... Okay, good. It didn't get... Okay, there's no space for it to get underneath, so... That's still good. But god damn it. Turned all the fucking concrete powder that was on the ground. Is it worth going back and fixing that? I don't know. I still think it looks good, so... You know what? We're keeping it. It's natural now because, you know, the water did it, so... It's very colorful. It's not my normal style, but I like how colorful it is. Usually just go with the, like, white, black, and, like, an accent color. But... Or, you know, wood. Which, there's nothing wrong with those. You know, I still really like those aesthetics. But this is a nice change of pace from my normal style. The only bits you can see are up through here, but honestly, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. So, probably just gonna leave these. But, yeah, I think it looks pretty freaking good. Let's see, the enchantment table will definitely have to come at a later time, just because I don't have the books or the leather to get all the bookshelves in place and all that, so that's definitely going to be like a work in progress type thing. I might even do that in between episodes, just because it's not like going and getting leather isn't very exciting. The enchantment table side will probably have to wait. I guess I could go... Yeah, I could go get the obsidian for the nether portal real quick and get that going, as well as get some lights for down there, because it is very dark. Torches probably aren't going to be the permanent solution. Having some more interesting lights, like, I'm already thinking, like, I could do the prismarine lanterns over here because they're a nice blue color, and then doing something like the shroom lights or something on this side because they're like orange and fit in with the red aesthetic. Torches are kind of just a temporary solution for right now. But yeah, let me go grab some obsidian, which I'm probably gonna have to get more because I want to make a nether portal that's bigger than the standard size, and I don't have quite enough for the size I want to build. Should I leave the temp one? I guess I can leave the temporary, quote-unquote temporary one, just so I have it, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna go get more obsidian, though. Goodbye, Mr. Zombie. I really gotta put in some stairs here at some point. Hopping all the way back up from, like, negative 40 takes forever. Oh yeah. My flint and steel got eaten by the time loop, so go find or make another one. Go back down. I love entrances like that. So cool. Anyways, boom. Big old nether portal on that side. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, kind of fits more with just the purple than anything. But, you know, the nether, it's like seeping through. This side will remain bare for now. I will get to putting in all of the stuff on this side. But I think that is a good spot to leave off this episode. This was honestly like a bigger project than I thought it was going to be, but at the same time, like, I'm really happy I did it. And we got our first redstone contraption of the series going, and it's a lot of fun and amazing and awesome, and I love it. But that's where the episode's going to stay for right now. I'll work on this in between episodes, getting all the leather and stuff at least for the bookshelves. But I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so that we may ultimately reach our goal of getting to Hermitcraft. My name is Battery, and I'll see you later.